Turn right onto Bayshore Road, then your destination will be on the right. Head north. Continue for a half mile. Head north.
As far as Easter seals goes, the history here began in 1953 when Louisa Carpenter deeded the property to us, and we took possession the last day of December 1953, and by July or summer 1954, we opened up our first children's camp. And we believe that was mostly for children with polio at that time, but it became a summer camp for children with all types of disabilities over the years. And then as it grew and grew, adults were included. And today we're at a place where close to 500 people a year come to Camp Fairlee here at Fairlee Manor to enjoy summer camp activities. We have a little history on this place. It can actually be traced back to the late 1600s, like 1690 or something like that, and it was called Fairlee, and now we spell it F-A-I-R-L-E-E, but back in the old history it was spelled F-A-R-E, then separate word L-E-I-G-H. So it morphed into the modern Fairlee that we have today in the village of Fairlee up the road, but it became a working Kent County farm back about 200 years ago from now, and the manor house that's just outside this building traces its origins back to the 1820s. When people made inquiries, we allowed them to rent the camp. We've had board members and others who chose to get married here and asked to use the camp, and we'd always let them. And we've always gotten a little bit of rental revenue out of the camp, but I think the decision point that you're asking me about is when we totally rebuilt Camp Fairlee last year in the winter of 2014 through the late spring of 2015. As you can see as you look out these windows, we tore down just about every building that was here, totally rebuilt the camp, because a lot of them were old. As I said, the camp had been here 62 years. Some of these buildings were 50-some years old. We rebuilt it, and then we saw that we have a valuable asset, and that we could, quite honestly, frankly, leverage that asset to support the mission of Camp Fairlee. We do have some nice facilities, and this would be good for a lot of people. It would be a good, probably affordable alternative maybe to other ways of having your event. So now we're doing that, and the whole idea is come here, have fun, enjoy the facilities, tell other people about it, and support the mission of Camp Fairlee. Yeah, we're looking for the long haul. That's exactly right, especially from my point of view. Yeah. I realize that things grow slowly, generally speaking, and most effectively through word of mouth. And word of mouth is definitely a long haul thing, but hopefully we get some users in here, and we've already had some. For example, if a young lady has a wedding, her bridesmaids and others will hear and see, and the word spreads. And there's things to do here, like outside of being in this activity center or dining hall. There are nature trails around here, places to walk and enjoy the facility. Pool. Well, then there's a lot more now. There are zip lines and climbing walls and lots of activities here for the participants. And, I'm just theorizing now that, perhaps some, business group wants to come in here and do some team building. Maybe we do ropes courses. Maybe we do, activities like that to build cohesiveness and leadership skills and things like that. You talk about cost and value and that kind of thing. There's an additional component here, and I don't think I've brought out yet. But, if a group does come here and they do an event, and of course we get the revenue from hosting your event and providing a wonderful experience for you, I think one of the intangible benefits that a consumer would get from coming here is that you are supporting the mission of Camp Fairlee Manor. You're supporting people that really need this facility.